Okay, so what we have down here is a really neat feature. There's actually, I believe, 2 of these on this line. I haven't seen the other one because it's way farther to the west, closer to Sioux Lookout. But so I saw this back in 2020, and I went down and had a look at it. And then we were here, Luna, stay. We were here last week, and I went down and I actually walked through this. So in 1918, a contract was awarded. So July 1918, a contract was awarded to the Carter-Halls-Aldinger Company of Winnipeg for a number of improvements on this line, including the Strawberry Creek Bridge, which we've seen before, and I'll put a link to that video. So this is the same company that did this. So the contract for this section included a couple of culverts and the concrete bridge, and this tunnel was for $86,897. And so this was probably this tunnel. So the bridge, the Strawberry Creek Bridge, was done in 1919. So this was probably done around the same time. So what they literally did is probably, again, filled this whole thing in with gravel, and then they drilled a tunnel through the solid rock to reroute this creek. And I've never seen anything like it on any other railway line. And again, apparently there's 2 on here because there's another one further up to the west, again by Sioux Lookout. So again, we were here last week, and I actually walked right through the entire tunnel. And so we're going to drop down, and we're going to have a look at that, and I'll show you that video from last week. All right, so we're down below the level of the grade. We are probably, according to the GPS, about 75 to 80 feet below the level of the grade. It is a very long way down. The grade is way the heck up there. So you basically have this little body of water here, this creek, and obviously what has happened is that the flow has been rerouted, as we described, and so they cut this channel right through the solid rock. Again, this was done probably around 1919. The contract was signed for this in July of 1918. And so what we have is we have this very unique feature. We have this stream tunnel that's approximately 10 feet by 10 feet. And so what we're going to do is we're going to work our way through this, through to the other side, and see what it looks like through the tunnel. It is difficult to get to the other side, so that's why we're going to work our way through. And so what we're going to try to do is work our way through it to the other side. And one of the reasons why we want to work our way through to the other side is because it's not particularly easy. The first time I'm using these chest waders, so we'll see how this goes. Is because it's not easy to get to the other side. So really neat to see the construction of this. So again, this was not original construction. This was done afterwards. And it is very deep in here. The water is up to my knees and past. Just kind of feeling my way around here. I forgot my flashlight. So I have my friend Dave's flashlight, and I think my thing just turned off. So that was not the video camera. That was the GPS losing connectivity. Is there a stick in here? I need a walking stick to steady myself. So again, this tunnel was supposed to be 10 by 10. Maybe it is. Hard to tell as I make my way through. The dog is walking and swimming. Hi there. Whoa, she got deep here. Oh. I'm wearing shorts underneath these waders, and it's not warm. The dog's swimming. All right, so we've reached the other side. And this was the reason why we walked through instead of coming down from the other side. Maybe it's dried up now, but when I was here 4 years ago, I could not even get close to here because it's this spot right here. So you can see this really crude nature of the opening here. A whole bunch of these here. I'm not sure what those are. Okay, let's keep going here. Hopefully Luna can get through. Hopefully I can get through. Oh, these waders make it very awkward to walk. Be careful, Lynn. Whoa! Yeah, there's a reason why I didn't come through here the last time. Oh, I shouldn't have gotten rid of that stick that I had. Now the trick is getting out of here. All right, so we're gonna make our way back up to the grade and continue our journey. All right, here we go again. So just as a note, this portion is a redo of a redo. So we were here a couple weeks ago recording this whole section from the road, Flett Road, Finmark Road, all the way to the bridge that we're heading to. Unfortunately, it decided it was going to miss that day, and the video did not turn out particularly well. So we are redoing it. Now, the only problem is that we're also doing the next section. So again, this is a redo of the redo. And then once we get to our destination, we're going to continue on and do the next section. So I've already done 13.6 kilometers. So that means I have to do 13.6 kilometers on the way back. Fun times. Okay. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the tunnel. Kind of a neat little thing to see. So I've got Luna in the trailer. I just, she walked the first section, the part that was supposed to do for real today. And then I just biked her this section. So this is 4 miles. So you can see we're getting into a rock cut here. Not particularly long, maybe 10 feet or so in height. So as I was saying, Luna walked 4 miles, and then I just biked her 4 miles. We're gonna bike her back to the start of the next section, and then she can walk from there. This isn't as bad, hopefully, on her paws, because there's lots of gravel and stuff, lots of sand. Got a little bit of rain last night. It's still been dry. Thankfully, all the rock cuts and all the big puddles and stuff are dry. So we're coming up to another rock cut here. I don't know if I redid this one or not. So I recorded some that turned out better at the end of the hike. So here you can see this section here is not particularly long, again, probably in about 8-foot range. So you can see a little bit of water in the puddles. I may have just done the last next big one. I don't know if I did this one or not. So here you can see we're getting into a bigger cut. So this one's probably at least 12 feet, if not more, with the requisite graffiti on it. And yet more graffiti. So again, really interesting to note that all of these were done right at kind of the dawn of the mechanized era. So again, a lot of the blasting done by hand, right? A lot of the removal done by hand. You know, machinery was just starting to come online. Saw some, actually came across some newspaper articles, and you can actually see in the newspapers they had put pictures of this when they were working on this line. So when they completed it in 1908, and you can actually see they were using some steam shovels. There are lots of sections where they're doing cuttings, especially further to the east, kind of northwest of Thunder Bay. So kind of a pretty straight stretch section here. We were here 2 weeks ago. All the trees had leaves. We hadn't quite hit the peak of color, and literally we hit the peak last week, and you can see the leaves are all gone. We had a pretty heavy frost a couple of nights this week. One night it was supposed to have gone down about -8, and then a little bit of wind, and sayonara to the leaves. I mean, it is what it is. It would have been nice with the colors, but you can still see a little bit of yellow here with the vegetation. So that's still kind of neat to see. You'll see some yellow with some of the trees that we'll point out after. We're kind of in a little bit of an upland area here. When we start getting back into sort of the swampy areas, you'll see that. So the only problem is now, it was easy coming that way, going to the east. Now I'm headed back west, and we're climbing. This railway line climbed a lot. So right now we're about 1,420 feet or so, according to my GPS, which is likely accurate. Eventually getting up to Graham, we have to get up about 1,600 feet. And Thunder Bay is at just over 600 feet. So we've climbed about, brakes are all wet. We've climbed about 800 feet so far. So kind of a neat find. I saw this the last time. So what we have here, as I drop it, is we have a bucket of track bolts, Stelco track bolts. So this line, I don't know, I want to say there were some sections of continuously welded rail, but most of it was still jointed rail, 100-pound jointed rail. So obviously track bolts would have been necessary. Okay, so we're coming up to another rock cut here. So again, lots of climbing. So again, we've climbed 800, more than 800 feet since Thunder Bay, or about 800 feet or so. And then we're gonna have to climb some more throughout this, because even we're going, the next hike we're gonna be at Griff, and Griff is another more than 20 feet above us. Okay, gotta dry out those brakes. Let's pause here for a second, because I know I recorded this rock cut.